Good morning, everybody. I hope we're all doing good. It's your girl Sika in the house. I promised yesterday that I was going to come today and we were going to have a very exciting conversation, and that's why I'm here today. So happy Sunday. I hope you're good, and I hope this conversation is going to be a blessing and a help to people that are in marriages and committed relationships, and nothing seems to be the same anymore, and you're looking for what is missing. What is that missing piece in my own relationship, and what can I do better to make it more exciting? You're in the right place. So good morning to everybody. Fidel, Patricia, whoever else is here. Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session, and please share this video. Somebody else needs to hear what we have to say today, and they're counting on you to help make that possible. So please share this video. And before I start talking, I would also love it if somebody can let me know whether you can actually hear me in the first place. So if you can hear me, please let the love hearts, let it flow, so I can know that I'm actually talking to people in real time and my voice can be heard before I start talking. Don't see any love hearts yet, so I don't know whether, I can be heard. Or if you can type to say you can hear me, then at least I know that I can be heard and I can start talking. So I'm waiting. Who's going to tell me they can hear me so we can get the show on the road? Hello, Tran. Hello, Hawana too. How are you doing? Good morning to everybody. Right, I'm just going to assume that I can be heard and get the show on the road. Good morning to everybody. Relationships can be very exciting. Living with somebody else, finding the right lifetime partner can be exciting, can be a wonderful experience. Oh, thank you so much. I can see the love hearts now. Amazing. It gives me energy. It makes me feel very excited. Thank you so much for doing that for me. It means that I can be heard and I can start talking. A very exciting experience if you find the right person. But even at that, when people have found the right partner, the right person to be with, and all of that, after time, it can be very difficult to keep the spice in your relationship going. You tend to take each other for granted. Oh, we're already married. We've been together for 20 years. Where are you going? I've captured this. This is now mine. And so the temptation is great for you to then think that you don't have to really do anything. It's not, it's not urgent. She's my person. She's my person. So there is no feeling of, keeping it alive and exciting. And when that happens, people take each other for granted and all of that. It also affects the bedroom antiques. It doesn't feel excitable anymore. People want to do other things. Both men and women think that they can chase something else out there because whatever is out there may seem more appealing to what you have at home. And yesterday we talked extensively about, the consequences of doing those kinds of things, thinking that the pastures are greener elsewhere, what that can do for you. So we've talked about that yesterday. If you missed that video, please go watch that video because there's a lot of nuggets in that video. But today, the prime reason why I'm here is to talk about how to keep the spice in your relationship when it comes to the bedroom antiques. Mama and papa business. How can you keep it all going, all exciting, still alive, and be able to be with somebody for 20 years and you still see them and you still find them exciting. The first thing that I want to talk about here is that everything in this life is a science. There's a science backing to everything in this life. And so, just like with anything else, love making is also a science. There's a science to everything in this life. Both man and woman, there's a science about how to be able to get the bedroom antiques going so that it remains excitable. What do I mean? If you're a man and you're listening to me, and you want to do mama and papa business with your wife, a woman, if you don't understand the body chemistry of this woman, you may be doing mama and papa, but you may be firing blank missiles amiss because you're not touching the right notes of this person. So I'm going to divide this segment into different bits. Today, we're going to talk about the praise and worship component of the whole issue. You see, before you start making soup, you have to find the ingredients that you're going to use. If you're making light soup, if you're from Ghana and you're making light soup, you need to have your tomatoes, your onions, your ginger, your garlic, and all the different spices you wish to put in this light soup of yours. Then you have to find the protein, the meat, the chicken, whatever you're deciding to use as your, the protein for the soup. You have to find all of those things. In the same way, you want to make love to your wife, but do you even understand this person, this woman that is stood in front of you? Do you understand her? There's a whole science and a whole chemistry about this whole thing. You see, we women are wired by emotions. I'm not saying men don't have emotions. They do. They have feelings too. But we women, exceptionally, are wired by emotions. How does it make me feel? How does he make me feel? This thing that he's doing to me, do I like it or don't I? We are wired by emotions and feelings, how we feel. Whereas the men on the other side are wired by what they see. A man can just see a woman passing by with, big back axils, if that's what floats his boat, or a pretty face with a smile, or a big bobby. And instinctively, things are knocking things. He's already getting his missile in erection position and already ready to fire missiles. That's how men are wired. What they see. Women, what we hear and how we feel. And so, if you're a man and you think that because you've seen your wife undress and things are already knocking things, so it must mean that your wife is already ready, and you want to go from first gear to fifth gear and expect that she's also in that particular place that you are at, my brother, you are massacring your wife without even knowing that that's what you've been doing for years. I have spoken to women who have been married for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years. And a lot of them don't even know what an orgasm is like. And it's just so sad that you be living this life of marriage with somebody and you have never had that thing that makes you go wild and crazy. That feeling that you've had this out of body experience. That's how it feels for some people. And then, people haven't experienced that in their lives before after being married for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. A lot of women have been faking it just so that it can be over and you can get off on top of them and they can have their peace. But real people who have really experienced it for what it is, there's not a lot of people. And it's not because they can't feel it. It's because you're not hitting the right notes. You're not doing the right things. And so how can she feel what she's supposed to feel? So today we're going to talk extensively about the organization and preparation before the soup is made. What needs to happen? This is probably going to be a weekly series for the next few weeks now. Because if we want to talk about this whole thing in one session, we'll be here for 5 hours. And it's not going to be excitable for anybody. So I'm going to go back and retitle this. This is part 1. Next week, Sunday, we'll do part 2 and counting. We'll keep going. So please don't miss any part of what we're talking about here today. Today, we're talking about the science of getting ready into the whole thing that is going to happen. This session right here are things that will cost money to study. Yeah, they're not free. If you want a proper, extensive session about this whole thing with me, yeah, it's not going to be free. We have to pay for a group session because I can't say everything on social media and still keep to standards. It's why I have to, try and use certain words and, go very African on a lot of things because I can't say it as it is on social media. So if you want me to actually do this, if there's the how do I put this? If I see that there's a lot of people that are interested in wanting to know more about this, we can put a proper class, a proper course together and talk about these issues properly. But for the sake of being here today, let's talk about what needs to happen before we get to the main soup itself. Okay, so you're with your wife. I'm starting with the men. We'll come to the women as well. You're with your wife and you want to do the do with her. And, for women, we're not like a vehicle that you just jumpstart. You just connect the things and you spark it and, oh yeah, the battery is now alive so the car can start moving. Women are not wired like that. If you know that tonight you have time and you want to see your wife, it has to start from the morning time. That breakfast time, that time that you got out of bed. You must have already thought about it, that's what you're going to be doing later on in the day, and start preparing the way before the Messiah arrives. What do I mean by this? You know that tonight, you're in a hurry to go to work, but tonight when you come home and you have time, Valentine's is coming, right? You want to enjoy yourself with your spouse. But you start the day by fighting with her. Look at your face and look at you. You're so fat, you're so big, you're so tiny. What is this? And pick unnecessary quarrels with this person in the morning. Leave her angry, upset, pained in the morning. My brother, you've already lost that game. You spoilt everything. Every iota of feeling to go into that sense, you've ruined it by those things that you did in the morning. When you know that this is what you want to do, you don't start your day by picking unnecessary squabbles with the person that you want to open up themselves for you by fighting in the morning. Because you may have forgotten about it by the time you come home in the night, but she hasn't forgotten how you made her feel, how embarrassing it was, how pained she is. She's probably still mad at you for some of the hurtful things that you said. And so she's not in the mood. You've put her off for the day. You could have put her off for even a whole week because she's still chewing whatever you said to her. Words are so powerful. This tongue that is in our mouth, it doesn't have no bone in it. But it is one of the tiniest part of our bodies, but also one of the very powerful parts of our body. If you use it to say horrible things to somebody, don't expect that you're going to get this thing that you're wanting to get to in the final stages of whatever. When you started off by upsetting the person to begin with. So my brothers, it's a science. And you have to understand how the science works. How to woo this woman of yours. The second thing that I want to talk about is that when two people are together, you need to understand and have realistic expectations about whatever stage you're at in your marriage. A woman that you met in her 20s, when you were also in your 20s, the way her body was, her boobs, her this, everything was in proportion. What you saw, that you fell for, and are now married to. It's not going to be the same 10 years later. Just like you're not the same 10 years later. And so there needs to be a realistic expectation on both sides. You've married a woman with a Coca-Cola shaped body. You've had 3 children, 2 children, 1 child, no children. It doesn't even matter. The age, stress, everything has happened over the years. You can't expect that boob that you've been sucking and chewing the nipple like chewing gum for years, abusing that thing, is going to be the same 10 years later. It will still be pointing this way. All the flashlights will be there. Everything will be still looking the same 10 years later. You're not being realistic. Just like your wife also saw you, handsome dude. Maybe you were doing a lot of metal lifting, so you even have 2.5 pack at that time. Now you have -5 pack. You have pot belly 10 years later. The woman is still managing you like that. But you are always comparing her to somebody else. Can't you see Francis's wife? Look how beautiful she's looking. Look, she's so slim. Even after 5 children, she hasn't put on any weight. Look at you. You've only had 2 children. You're all over the place. Like some of the things that my brothers say with their mouths. But Francis's wife is not your wife. Their genetics are not the same. Their bodies are not the same. We're very completely different people. Can't you have a kind thing to say to your wife? Like, can't you be compassionate? Aren't you even grateful that the heavens has blessed you with somebody that you have in your life that has given up everything she has for you? You have abused this body and pushed this bobby and be squeezing it like you're squeezing water out of your clothes to dry on the line outside. Do you know how Francis has been taking care of her own woman? Do you know that Francis has been taking extra care to make sure doesn't want to hurt you know? But you've been doing it anyhow. She hasn't complained though. But you're always comparing her to other people. You see, when you do those things, you lower your wife's self-confidence and self-esteem. That's why sometimes when you want to be intimate and you even want to turn the lights in the room on, your wife doesn't want to, because she doesn't want you to find other things to now come and use to abuse her. And for everything, every last flame that is there to die because of what you said. And so, my brother, it's a science. If you really want to succeed at this whole mama and papa business, I'm telling you that you have to understand that it's a science. And you have to take the trouble to understand this spouse of yours that you're living with. This body that you have that is yours. You have to understand the science behind that body. The third thing that I want to talk about is that in this learning of the science, hello, Prissy darling, how are you? Mr. Kwame, how are you doing? Nana Basawa, how are you? No, Nana Basariwa, what am I saying? I can't even see properly. Thank you so much, darling. How are you? Please, you have to take the time to do the science behind this person that you're with. My brother, you have to understand what is going on. Apart from all of these things, women also go through hormonal changes. As things progress, we go through hormonal changes in life, from puberty to young adults to older adults to, old woman. We go through different phases of changes. The body is always going through hormonal changes. And if you're a brother and you don't understand any of that, you haven't understood the science of this body that God has given you as a wife in your home. And you're going to struggle. A woman before she's had children is different from a woman after they've had the children. Very different. We're constantly fighting hormonal battles. Premenopausal, menopausal, postmenopause, this, that. There's always something that is happening with this body. If you don't understand that, darling, it's going to be hard for you to understand and fully grasp the concept of the science of this woman that you have in your home and appreciate her for all she is. You know, I have always said that one of the big questions that I'm going to ask God one day when I see him in heaven is, God, why is it that you created menstrual cycles for women? Why didn't you make the same thing for men? Just imagine that a man would have a period every month too. And every month you would have, you know, menstrual flow, blood coming out of your thing. You know, just like you're peeing, then it will be coming out for 3 whole days, 5 days, 1 week. It will be like that. And those donuts that you have under the bulla to be hurting, you know, like a toothache for 7 whole days. I don't think this world will be able to contain men when they're dealing with that. I think there'll be so much vehicular crashes and all sorts of things because they won't be able to handle it. But this wife of yours, even through all of that, she'll just pop a pill, take some, you know, ibuprofen or a Tylenol or paracetamol or something, and get to the kitchen and cook you food. Even when she's cramping badly, they put hot water bottle on their side. They wear big things and stuff themselves with all kinds of things because life must still go on. You are still expecting your meal. You're still expecting food when you come back home. But she is going through that thing that you can never, ever imagine what it's like and still putting food on the table for you. Like, appreciate the woman that you have in your life because women go through a lot. We can't even moan or complain about it. We've come to understand it as collateral damage, but it's a lot that this body has been going through. And so if on top of that, you're not giving this body peace of mind, you're always constantly criticizing, saying all kinds of things. Pastor Patience, good morning. How are you doing? You're putting her through so much. Don't expect that you've captured the understanding of the science of lovemaking and getting to that point of making it all how it needs to be. Now, let's flip it all to the other side and talk about the guys. Because this is a science between two people. It's not just the woman, it's the man too. Men are attracted by what they see. Sight, that's the first thing. And so, my sister, when you started this whole dating, before you even got married, you always made sure that you were looking the part. You know, you were looking sharp, as you would call it. Dress nicely. Make sure your hair is washed. There's no food smelling in your hair. You look so pretty. Yeah, because you wanted to get his attention. That attention needs to still be there into the marriage. Don't think that now I've got the ring on the finger. If he wants to go, he can go and do whatever he likes. And when he comes back, he'll still come back to me. No. You still have to keep his attention and excitement there by doing your part to still look good and look the part, even now. Now. I really love the science of relationship and marriage. Pastor Patience, everything, as you've been saying to me every day, there is a science behind everything in this life. Everything. So there's a science. So we're now in the chemistry lab. Before you put the, sodium with the chloride to make the salt, you have to make sure that the pot is clean. You're looking good. So that you keep the attention in your home. I'm not saying you have to do something fantastic, put makeup on. You have to wake up every day and put... No, that's not what I'm talking about. But keep the excitement in your home. Your husband comes back from work. Maybe you got back home earlier than he did. You haven't had a wash. You're not even in the kitchen. You're just sitting there on the couch watching TV. Your hair looks like a beehive. You look like... Yeah. There's nothing to say, oh, okay, she's looking pretty. Nothing. You're just there. You know your man. You live in the house with him. You know what he likes. What gives him attention. Or what draws his attention to you. You know it. Maybe your husband likes skimpy clothes. It's your house. You live with him. Wear your skimpy clothes at home. I have a friend who said that the husband says he really gets an, fantasy from seeing her dressed up at her age in school uniform. When we're back in school, wear pinafore and all of those things. And when they were in high school, they would all dress up and, they have this white shirt and this brownish looking skirt. It's either pleated or gathered and, and he just likes that. You know what she did? She went back home and she got a seamstress to sew that thing for her, different colors. There was the yellow one, the white one, the beige one, all kinds of things. But make it skimpy. Not the sort that you wear when you're in school because you're feeling you're a good girl. My dad never allowed us to wear clothes that were going to heave up your knee when you sit down. The measure of what you're wearing is when sit down and let me see. If it's above your knee, you're not going out. I'm not talking about that type. You're now married. You're with your husband. Skimpy clothes is what he likes. So this girl, this friend of mine, has made different things of it. She's cut some of them and is showing, those things that she knows he likes. So when she wants things to happen, by the time he comes back from work, she will intentionally go and put one of those things on. She will make her hair like a child and tie it up and have all those things on, but it's skimpy. And then intentionally come and be walking, in front of him, intentionally bend over as if she's taking something and everything is there for him to see. He can't resist that after a time. What are you doing? What are you trying to do here? What are you saying to me? And those two are like kids. It's so exciting. They're old people into their late 40s, going into 50s. And it's so exciting just to hang around them because they are like children. And they've been together for years. That is what I'm talking about. Everything in this life, it's a science. It's a science. So we're prepping. We're still making the soup, right? We're cutting up the ginger. When you've peeled it and everything, you have to wash it. So my sister, you've washed your hair. Your hair is smelling nice and everything. But do you wash the back of your ears, your earlobes, inside and out? Like, do you clean it? The cost of living has become so bad now that you've put this rasta, this hair extension thing on your hair. It's been 6 months now. You've been frying fish. You've been making pomo. You've been making pounded yam. You've been making egusi. You've made jollof rice. There's lice soup, peanut butter, everything stinking in this same hair of yours. And you haven't washed it. So you go and you want to lie on your husband's chest and get some, get some feelings, and he's pushing you away. Oh, I'll be right back. Then he'll just get it because the stench is just too much. You have this wig on that you've been wearing, this same old wig. You've been washing, you've been doing all the stuff in the house with it. That wig needs to go in the washer because the stench that's coming from it is something else. You don't brush your teeth properly. You don't put mouthwash. Literally get into the insides of your mouth and, clean it all out properly. A lot of people don't brush their teeth before they go to bed. And the truth about it is that the bacteria in your mouth, when you're sleeping, That's when all the secretions and everything is going on in your mouth. When you wake up in the morning, oh man. But you don't brush your teeth. You only do it in the morning because, you know, it's become a habit that everybody must brush their teeth in the morning. And this has nothing to do with, because you're a big city person. Even when you live in a village where there's no toothpaste or toothbrush. Our old my grandmother didn't come from affluence. But when it came to cleanliness, oh man, that woman was something else. Clean your mouth. Remove all the stench. And it goes for the men too. I'm coming back to you. Don't think you've gotten away with this. No, I'm coming back to you. The back of your ears, the back of your... the back of your ears. Clean it all. Okay, so you've gotten the face right. You've done, what needs to happen. You've dealt with your mouth, your ears, and everything. Do you know that even under your boobs, especially when, you have big enough boobs that it's sagging a little bit, if you have to lift it up and clean the thing that is under that place, you have to clean it and clean it properly. If you need to use apple cider vinegar to clean some of the things, my sister, do it. If you have to use lemon, it doesn't cost you anything. Do it. Don't put any chemicals. Now I'm coming. We are landing. We're coming. Your armpit. You don't shave it. The hairs are there. They're not clean. You're sweating, especially if you live in a place where... Pastor P, I've had it all along, but it's bifocal. And so when I'm using it for work, it's very difficult. So the other pair that I have, it's easier because it's set, which is for what I can see. Okay, if I want to read, I use that. So that's why I've had it all along. I've probably had it for a year and a half. Yeah, I like it too. I love the frame. Thank you so much, Pastor P. Yeah. Clean it. Clean them well. Clean it properly. Clean it. We're going down. Your armpits. We're going. You have lemon. How much does lime or lemon cost? It doesn't cost a lot of money. Clean it, my sister. I beg. Make una clean up. Well. Please share this video. If you want me to keep going, share this video. Please, I beg you. Share this video. It doesn't cost you anything. You just press the share button and share the video. Please. And I want to see the love hearts. I want to have some more love hearts so I can keep talking. It gives me a lot of energy. Like red is one of those colors that it's just like, bing! It pops up in my brain and I get so excited. Please. Uncle Samuel, I will. But this special thing that we're organizing, if I ask you to get your pay for the ticket for your wife, I beg, will you pay for her to come? If you will, I'll organize this. I'll put the date out. It will be very exciting. Very exciting. So thank you, Uncle Samuel. I'll do that. We'll have that time. I can't say it all here. So, I'm trying to, be politically correct on social media. So I'm sorry for saying Mama and Papa, but I know you understand what I'm saying. Right? We're going. Now we're coming to the main dish. Yeah. The main apple. Yes. And down there, the apple. You see, when you put a chicken lying on its back, you see, with the legs lifted up like that. I wish I had a picture. Poulet roti. Chicken. You see, the thigh, when you put the knife there, when you're trying to cut the drumstick, you have to have the knife in a particular angle to do it. that thing, that place, that part where the cartilage and the bone, the thigh bone and the pelvic bone, that place, that thing there, that line there, that's another place where there's a lot of sweat and things hiding. You need to clean that place, you know, remove all the hairs there and clean it well. Put apple cider vinegar or lemon and clean that place. If you have big thighs, you have big problem. Because unless you sit down, open your poulet roti, open it big, there's no air, there's no oxygen getting there much, because you're either standing or you've worn trousers or you're wearing a wrapper. So it's always there. And then you have the inside of the inner leg of your knickers all touching that place. It's always busy. Please clean it, clean it, clean it, clean it, clean that place. Put lemon, clean them well. Well, we've done all of that. Now we're coming to the main thing. You see, that main apple too, it has an outer apple and an inner apple. The vulva area, all that thing needs to, you need to clean all of that. I've remembered. I beg. This apple, where you get, it no be kebab. It is not dry fish. It is not Kobe. It is nothing like that. It's not chicken. It's not Happy Thanksgiving. I beg. Those of you who have been putting ginger and garlic and, how do I say it? Cloves and all kinds of things there, because people have told you that if you want to be nice, you have to put those things there. Please, we are not making barbecue. It's not a barbecue. It doesn't need Worcestershire sauce. It doesn't need Tabasco sauce. It doesn't need none of that. My brother, my sister, I beg you. It just needs water. At worst, apple cider vinegar. If you're trying to get the acidity of that place, in balance. That's all it needs. Doesn't need nothing else. Not even soap. Because that place, if it doesn't have any bacteria or any infections, it's a self-cleaning thing. So please, those of you who have been putting cloves and garlic and, all sorts of things, leaves. When I see the concoctions that people have been putting there, my sister, doesn't it hurt? Because garlic, even when you put it in your mouth and you chew it, it stings like a bee. Not to talk of, my sister, people have been doing things, people have been doing things. Please. You were looking forward to your laughter. I told you yesterday now. No bass. This girl, she can't keep it. My parents have given up on me. My mom says, I don't know what to do with you anymore. You, this girl, you're just too naughty. I'm trying to be good today. Say, today is Sunday. I got Pastor Patience to pray for me so that God will forgive me. Because this sin is too much. But I just have to say it as it is. I'm sorry. We are not doing poulet roti. We are not roasting chicken. Poulet roti, that's not what we're doing. I beg. Your apple is begging you. It's begging you. Apple is begging. Please. Take good care of that thing. You have to respect your body, you know that. I saw a comment before, the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Let's not even go into the spiritual side of things. But you have to respect this body that you are living in. You are not just this body. I hope you understand that. Like, there's a soul, there's a person, there's another part of you inside this body. This body is just a vehicle that is carrying you around. My sister, show some respect to this body of yours. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse your body. Because your husband said it doesn't smell good, instead of going to check, is there something? Because the apple tells you everything. It tells you everything. Maybe the fluid that is coming, the secretions have become very runny and watery and very funny. There's this egg-like stench that is coming out of there. That is all an indication that the pH level of that thing is not what it should be. If you can't get to the bottom of it, take yourself to a medical facility that can deal with that. Because maybe you have an infection. We women, a lot of us are prone to UTIs, urinary tract infections. It's something that happens to women a lot because of our anatomy, the way that we are made. The bladder is very close to, you are an interpreter. Okay. Welcome, Mr. Interpreter or Madam Interpreter. Good morning. So please, you have to respect the body. Respect that apple. That is a very powerful tool, Diluted apple cider vinegar. Yes, the Bragg Organic apple cider vinegar. Please. Don't put no funny chemicals. People use douche, that has perfume and all kinds of things. You put it there after you've used it and you've gone to do the thing. When you come back later, now you have itches and thing. Your hand is always there as if somebody put lice and cockroaches there. My sister. You're causing yourself more harm than good. So respect your body. Again, the apple is also very close to the parts of your body where all the excrement is coming from. Sister Nanaba, God bless you. Thank you so much for stars. Mwah. I love those. Those give me even more energy to start talking and being more naughty. Yes. You have to clean that one too. The hairs down there, I call them public hairs. I know that's not the name, but that's what I call it. All those public hairs. You need to get rid of all of them. Please. Clean them out. Keep it clean, clear, so that air can pass. And you can clean it properly. And clean the backside too, properly. The lines, everything. Clear the margins, clear it. Keep it clean. So that you're always constantly smelling good. This has nothing to do with your spouse. Just you, my sister, you. You are respecting your own self. Because you deserve it. Some of my sisters think that, I have to do all this thing for my man. You're not doing anything for anybody. You're doing it for yourself. Why? Because you love yourself enough. And you feel that you deserve the best of everything. You're respecting this body that you're living in. And so you're giving it the best of the best of the best of everything. So clean it. My brothers, you are not exempt from this. Some of you have nails as long as Mount Everest. And when we look at the cuticle, it's always a black line full of filth. And you want to use that one to come and touch my apple. Are you okay? Some of my brothers, I don't even know why they keep long nails. I don't understand. If you are not a guitar player or somebody who plays instruments which requires you to have something to flick the strings with, I really don't understand why you should think that it's okay to have long nails. Like, I don't get it. And you can't even keep the long nails clean. Waiting be this. So horrible. Some people leave all the other nails short and keep this one long. I don't understand. My brother, please. The apple is a very delicate organ that God has given us. It needs to be treated with the utmost respect. Putting half-chopped nails inside, please. Don't come and give us any tests or worse. Very disgusting, Uncle Samuel. Oga, now very disgusting. Okay, let's move on. You cut your hair nicely. You wash it nicely. You also need to clean the back of your ears too. It's not just the women that need to clean it. Oh, Pastor P. Ugh. Yeah, I got goosebumps when I said that. Disgusting. And then clean the back, the earlobes, not just the outer, inside. Like you see, there's so many folds on your ear. You need to clean all of it. Both sides, both men and women. Clean it nicely. And I'll tell you why in the next video. Because today we're talking about preparing the soup. We haven't gotten to actually making the soup yet. That one will be next Sunday. And after the soup, that will be another Sunday. So we're going. Please, under your arms. Is it evergreen forest or Dodowa forest or what sort of forest is that one? Who are you growing the hairs for? Are you growing the hairs to make dreadlocks in your armpit or what? Is there no shaving stick in your village? Can you not use scissors to cut it? Today, there's the clippers that you use to cut your hair. It doesn't even cost any money. 2 for penny. So after you've cropped the one, you shave the one on your head, though, why don't you use it there? Remove those things, those curtains. Why don't you remove them? Because they are old, tattered, worn out, dirty, smelly, sweaty curtains. We don't want to see them. Amazon jungle, we need to remove them. Achimota forest, they must go. Please, remove them. Remove it. Some of my brothers don't even bathe half a day, not to talk of once a day or twice a day. And you live in a temperate place where it's so hot. The sun is on, 10 to 12 hours of the day. You don't want to have a shower. What is this? I remember one of my girlfriends telling me that when she got married initially, she would come back from work at 3 o'clock and bathe and, wear her nice flowy dress and everything. And she's busy cooking and, she's freshened up. Her spouse would arrive 2 hours later, having taken public transport with other people and worked all day, walked around in the sun, like you can even smell him. And when he comes home and he sees her and he turns her on, he wants to do the do at that time. Put smelly self in clean self. Like, what is wrong with you? And when she says no, hey, big fight. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So if you also go in the shower and remove your clothes and wash it and have a wash, like 10, 15 minutes, what's that going to change? But no, he wants to use dirty ngongo for clean punani. Like, I just don't get it. Clean yourself. We're going. You have a hairy chest. It can be nice if it's well kept and kept clean. Very nice. You too, clean yourself. All the folds. Your pot belly, clean it. Your navel, if your belly button is inside, clean it. It also needs a lot of, it can smell badly too. Like all the folds that you have on your body, the air doesn't get to easily. If you don't clean it, it stinks like hell. Clean yourself. We're going. Some of my brothers, they have gangrene growing inside their boxer shorts. Me, I've said it all. The same Calvin Klein boxer that you wore on Sunday, on Friday, you are still wearing that same one. Oh, but there's nothing in it. Look at it. It's still clear. There's nothing. There's no stains. And you're wearing that dirty thing. Do you know how much bacteria is growing on that thing? From the tip of your bulla matali to everything. Do you know how much bacteria is growing on that thing? And when they don't want you to see anything, they'll intentionally go and buy black, gray, blue, so that nobody will see anything. When there's a map of Africa on it, nobody will see it. And these are the same people who would go to your bathroom and pee, shake it up, and leave shake it up marks all over your bathroom and walk away and think that it is right. That is one of the things that jacks up my blood pressure. To pee and have bits of your pee. Like when you enter bathroom, everybody must know that Jerry was here, Mike was here, Fred was here, Peter was here. What is that? What is that shaking? What's that? My brother, respect yourself. My brother, don't do that now. You are ruining everything. That thing, you have to use, if you have to use a metal sponge, please, make una clean them well. From the tip of it to everything, it needs to be clean. Some of you, the thing itself doesn't have any hair, but when you see, so you have this thing like this, and the base of it, the body part that is, that this thing is connected to, it's like a beehive. It's even worse than Amazon forest. Achimota forest, now all the trees are gone. It's not good enough. Jet thick black hair. That has done Jerry curls by nature. Even my locks are looking very nice. Nicer than that thing that is there. Beehive. If you put lice in there, they won't even find them. They'll be hiding there. And you're keeping it. I don't even know what you're keeping that thing for. And because it's hot, it's making that whole place sweat a lot. My brother, make una remove them. Don't remove them. Because it stinks. Take it off. Like all those curtains, remove them. All the way down and behind. Like, take it all off. It has to go. It has to go. So that's that one. You too, after you've removed it. Because when we're growing up, my grandmother used to show both men and women how to bathe themselves. So you too, you need lemon. In your Pulero tea, that line there, between your thigh and your you need to clean it. On both sides. Put the lemon there, squeeze the juice in, let it stand for like 5-10 minutes and use the lemon thing to clean it. Well, scrub it. You know how we use a metal sponge to clean the pot after we've cooked in it? Yes, you must do it there. If that's what you have to use, use it. Clean it. Wash it properly. Because, the apple, is open. It's just, there's no filters. Everything, it just goes straight in. So sometimes when your woman is having all these issues, it's all your fault because you're not keeping it clean. So people keep reinfecting people with all kinds of things. You have UTI today. Next week, as soon as your husband comes, you get UTI again. It's constant because you're not keeping it clean. It gets worse. I'm trying hard not to say it, but I can't help it. I have to say it. My brothers, some of you, like the back door, like it needs to be clean now. You have hairs growing around the whole thing, and then you're pushing things from the back to the front, and it's just a hot mess. And when we say it now, you get angry. But this thing that you're saying, my wife doesn't smell good. Your wife too doesn't want to go down on you because it smells too. It stinks. Why she doesn't want to go down there? You have the stench of urine there, constantly there. Because that beehive, that Amazon forest, you don't want to remove them. It must go. It has to go. You yourself, when you take it off and you clean it and you feel good. My brother, treat yourself with respect. Your body, treat it with respect. And please, stop turning your bula matali into fork and knife and spoon that must go to every pot. Respect yourself. You may think, oh, I have a farm and I can have many gardens and you know, I don't chop this one, I don't chop that one. You're not respecting yourself. You are not respecting yourself. And so, my brother, please, this ain't got nothing to do with I can have what I want, I can do what I want. It's called respect for this body that your persona, your soul, is living in. Everybody is a soul and a spirit. Respect yourself in this vehicle called body that you're living in. I beg una, make una clean them well. Both brothers and sisters, please. So now we've cut up the onion, we've cut up the ginger. We're about to blend everything and everything. Yeah, born of teachers, so it's not surprising. And very naughty too, a very naughty teacher. You know, clean it all very well. Now, we've cut up the ginger, we've cut up the onions, and I've laughed so hard that my head is about to explode. That's just so funny. I find it all very funny in my head. And you've put everything, tomatoes and everything, you're about to put the blender on. Before you turn the blender on, there's something I must tell you. So after you've cleaned everything, you've bathed nicely, you've put the cologne, the deodorant, everything, you've dressed up nicely. When you go to church, let me say this before we end this video. Next week, we have to come back for part 2. If I give you all the nuggets now, you won't come back next week. But let's finish praise and worship. Let's finish the cleanliness before we get to the In fact, we haven't gotten to praise and worship yet. But let me give you some highlights of the praise and worship for next Sunday. I was born and raised a Catholic. My parents are Catholics. So I was born into the Catholic Church, baptized, confirmed, everything Catholic. I got married a Catholic. Okay. When you go to Requiem Mass and everything is in Latin, I didn't go to Latin Catholic. I wasn't raised in a Latin-based Catholic church. But the few Sundays that this priest would decide that the Mass will now be in Latin, I get so angry because I don't understand the word of what is being said. And the whole Mass is sung in Latin. What is this? But my parents were in that era when the nuns taught them Latin. So my dad understands 80% of what is being said and can recite everything in Latin together with his wife. And me, I'm sitting there, I don't understand what is being said. So they just do this thing, amen, and we go home and it's like, what a waste of time. But when you go to a church and before the sermon actually comes, the main course, your spirit has been lifted, you've danced, and you yourself, you have felt that the Spirit of God is there. Trust me, when the sermon comes, you hear it on a different level. But some of my brothers, no praise and worship. As soon as you see her, you see Bobby, that's it. You want to crank it, and you expect that it is ready. Go and put the thing inside. Do some nonsense mosquito style for 2 seconds. You have had your release and you are snoring. You're ready to slap the person. Give him woto for what he has done. You've come to crank me up and everything. You didn't even make sure that I got from Enugu to Abuja. You left me on the wayside. And you have had your own thing and you are sleeping. So annoying. Annoying. Praise and worship. Yes, Pastor P. Next week we'll do praise and worship. That's the title of the video. Praise and worship. When the praise and worship goes there, they sing the songs that you like and really, resonate with you. When the pastor comes and yes, hallelujah, I'm in the spirit. But when there's none of that, you just sit there. We'll open our Bible now to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. What is that? How can you tell me this story? How can you tell me this story? But when the praise and worship is worshiping, when the notes are hitting the rightful places, when the choir is in sync, not that one person is singing treble, the other one is screaming in alto. It must blend. It must be blended. When everything is in its proper place and things are knocking things. Oh, it's not competition, but praise and worship is very important, Uncle Sam. Very, very important. It must happen, no? It must happen. There has to be praise and worship before the main course is dished out. It's part of it. It's part of, even in the animal kingdom. When the male is wooing, there's a certain dance that the animal does, and the woman will be jumping around and doing all kinds of things and do shakara like she doesn't like it, and all of that. It's all part of it to get to the main course. I just go and sit down in church and open Ephesians chapter 6. How can you tell me that story? If it's too sweet, there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, there's something you can do. Uncle Sam, I'll catch you next Sunday. Next Sunday, don't miss it. Oh, it's also at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like today. Next week, we are coming back. Praise and worship. So before the main dish, before we put the pot on the fire, we have to finish the blending. It has to blend. So next week, we are coming for praise and worship. Exactly, Pastor P. You see, I can preach and prophesy well if the praise and worship goes well. The heavens come down. Exactly. Open the floodgates in abundance. Oh, yes. And cause your rain to fall on me. Yes, but when there's none of that, you come and sit there and they are singing Requiem Mass in Latin. How can you tell me that story? What is this? Yeah, so next week we are going to do that. But before I leave, there's something I want to say. Part of the reason why we are having all these conversations and problems is because a lot of people have been complaining. My wife will be lying there like a stone. Then the wife also says, and my husband's Bula Matali has been doing 6:30 all this time. Me, I'm fed up with this. What is it? He will come and touch me now. As soon as I hold him, this thing that should be like this and be ready for action, it will now be doing this. What is that? How can you tell me that story? That's why I'm here this morning. You see, I told us earlier on that we all go through hormonal changes. The body changes. But you see, the truth about the whole thing right now is that we human beings, when you dig to the very, very foundations of any living thing, people, trees, anything that's alive in this planet, we are all made up of cells. Now I'm going scientific. I told you everything is a science, right? So from cells to tissues, tissues to organs, organs to human being, or whatever other living thing we're talking about, the tree, the leaf, everything. We are all made up of cells. Now, in the cells, when God made us, he put a part of that cell, called it the mitochondria. That's what we English call it. The Americans, they have different kind of English. Me, I can't say it. I've tried to say it. I keep biting my tongue. So let me just stick to my own. Mitochondrion. This mitochondrion is powerful. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite parts of the cell. Why? It gives everything all the other cells in your body. They all have the mitochondria, and they give the cell energy to do what it has to do. So when the cells have enough energy, they will stop doing 6:30 and start doing 10:30 and things, so that it can be right. You see? And keep the 6:30 and keep the 10:30 at 10:30 for as long as it is needed, for you to get what you have to get, and keep doing, and stop doing 6:30 all the time. Some of you, your own has been doing seesaw. It goes to 6:30, it goes up to 8:30, trying to get to 9 o'clock. Boom, it goes back to 6:30. And your wife, she has become a stone. Even when you are touching herself, she's not moving. Nothing is happening. It's like you're lying in bed with Mami Waka. You're lying in bed with a piece of, I don't know what. No movement, no nothing. Just standing there like, or lying there with their hands behind their back. Stations of the cross. If you are Catholic, you understand what that means. Stations of the cross. You are just there. No. So there's a problem. The other thing is that before this 10:30 position can be kept, before your wife's apple can start, getting more moist and so that it can welcome Uncle when Uncle is coming. Auntie is ready. Mama Chioma na ready for Papa Chioma. Before that one, the cells also must have right signal. So when your brain is telling your ngongo, hey, my brother, my sister needs you. So stop this 6:30 sleepy. Wake up. There's work to do. We have to get to work. And this work, you have to stay awake. Stop sleeping. Not that you wake up and you start yawning and then you go back down again. Very annoying. That fluctuation is the most annoying thing to the sisters. After you've started everything and jump started everything, now you can't even function. What is that? Right? So the cells need to be able to coordinate and give good signals. So when the brain is waking up Mr. Ngongo, Papa Chioma, the junior Chioma to wake up, all those donuts down there, they are also excited and they are pushing what needs to be pushed into Ngongo now for everything to happen. The cells are coordinating with each other. Bula Matali can sense that Ponani is doing some shakara and getting ready for things to happen. You see? So, you have to do it properly. But you can't do that when your cells are themselves not even alive or life support. And so, my brother, my sister, you need something to help you for things to knock things properly. You need it. What is this thing? You might have heard Pastor Patience and I yesterday. We've been talking about, she started talking about it years ago. I just became excited about it a few months back. Just 15 short months ago, I've had experiences and now I want to talk about it. But redox signaling molecules is what we're talking here about. It's in your cells already. When you were born, God put it there for you. But you have used it and used it and used it and used it. You've depleted all of it. You have very little of it left. That's why Papa Chioma is struggling to keep this thing, heavily powered to be able to do. Some of you, your thing is soft like amala. It's very, very soft. When you touch it, it's scattered everywhere. Like you're trying to make a puff, and it's not binding. Some of my brothers, that is your problem. Some of the brothers too, they had this thing. Big one. Like your wife was very happy with it. Now you have lost weight and it's also losing weight. Now it's half of the size. So when it goes in, your wife is like, did you do it? Did it go in? I didn't feel anything. Are you finished? Apart from the 6:30, it's not even, it doesn't have enough horsepower to keep powering the electric station, the power station. Everything is ready, but it's not doing the do. And you, my sister, your husband has tried everything, but the juices are simply not flowing there. So when the bula gets in there, it feels like somebody is poking you with the pestle that they use to pound fufu. You know, that one that we use in Africa, that thing. It's like somebody is pounding you with that thing. It's all because the cells down there, they are not listening. They can't hear. They can't hear what is happening. When your brain is saying, hey, Mama Chioma, Papa Chioma wants to engage today. You must be ready. You must keep on. You must do everything. It's not registering. It's not hearing it. The coordination from your brain down there, the signal is broken. I'm calling you. The brain is calling Papa Chioma, but Papa Chioma cannot hear. And Mama Chioma to Ponani and brain, they can't talk to each other because your cells don't have enough of the redox signaling molecules that it needs to make sure that the connection is clear. There's no interruptions, there's no disconnection, there's nothing. The redox is making sure the bill has been paid so the two of them can talk to each other without any obstructions. My sister, you need redox. Papa Chioma, you need redox. Trust you, me. I am telling you on good authority, because me, I'm on this redox, and I can see that things are already knocking things. Yeah, so the day that you know, when that time comes, it's gonna be fireworks, you know. So if you want to feel alive again, if you want to feel like, you know, a renewed somebody, if you want to Papa Chioma and your brain to keep talking, so that when Mama Chioma just pokes the donut down there, you'll be like, ish, yes, I'm ready. You know, Papa Chioma is ready. And Mama Nkechi is also getting ready. When Papa Chioma starts playing around, then it's all getting nicely moist, like, you know, when you've baked a cake and, you know, you put enough of everything and the ingredients are all there. When you open the cake, when you bite it, it's melting in your mouth. Then it means that everything is working. Me now, when I've taken this redox for almost 16 months now, and there are sometimes I'm like, Pastor P, I can't do. What is this? Things are like knocking things, and yeah, it's knocking. You need to make sure that your redox signaling level is high enough so that Papa Chioma and Mama Nkechi, the Ponani and the Bula Matali, they can tango properly. You know, when they get together, amazing things can happen, and it can still be exciting. And it doesn't matter how old you are, it is still functioning properly because you're using redox. My brother, you don't want to miss out on this. My sister, you do not want to miss out on it. If you think I'm not telling you the truth, go and ask Pastor Patience. She'll tell you. She'll give you all the confessions back door. Me, I cannot say enough. I'm just saying my own. But on a more serious note, redox signaling molecules, when there's that decline in your body, it doesn't help matters. You're having punani dryness. Your apple don't dry. Even when you yourself, you're trying to clean it and you put your own fingers to try and clean the inside and outer, it hurts because it's so dried up, like Hamatan Popo is dry. It don't pain you, self. My sister, you need redox. You need redox. You can mask it all you want. You know, it's a sign of, oh, I'm bringing you in. I'm bringing you in. I know you are innocent, but I have to bring you in now. You are my partner in crime. Pastor P, don't abandon me at this point now. It's me and you. We are twins. Don't abandon me now. Don't do me like that. Right? Please. My sister, you need help. I know you're going through the changes of life and you're getting menopausal or whatever, or you've had children and you can't get over it. But my sister, I am telling you, the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. Me, I've tasted it and I'm telling you, I'm struggling. Things are knocking things hard. So you have the weapon in your house and you are just dancing around it. You are wasting time. What did you get the weapon for when you can't use it? What's the point? You'll be seeing this nice, beautiful Bula Matali, even when it's sleeping. You can see that this thing, it's like a green plantain, And then now when the stiffness comes and the starch adds onto it, and then it becomes a nice, beautiful dish, but you cannot use it. Because this thing now, it will be doing 6:30, it will be coming to 7, it will be 7:30, 8 o'clock, plum, it goes back. Very annoying. You need redox signaling molecules. You need it, my sister, my brother. And I want you to try it yourself. Dr. Patience can tell you exactly where you need to be putting it. And trust me, when you do it and it starts knocking things, don't call me, oh. When you start having triplets and quadruplets, please, no call me, oh. I don't know you. I don't know you from anywhere. But I am telling you that when Pastor Patience shows you where to put it and you don't put them, you come and thank me, oh. Me, I'll take my percentage. I want my 10%. I'll be coming for my 10%. When you are laughing and you are saying, you are singing all those melodies, me, I'll come for my own cat. Pastor P will come for her own. Me too, I'm coming for my own. No. So please, if you want things to knock things properly, if you want to enjoy, you're in your 40s and you've had this man, when you see your husband calling you, my sister, Mama Chioma, Nkechi Mama, I want to see you make your mouth like this. You want to see me? Can't even do anything. Want to see me? Leave me alone. Let me sleep. If you've been doing that one, trust me, you'll stop doing that. As soon as you hear, Mama, yes, I'm here, I'm ready. Hey, Oga, what were you saying now? What were you saying? Oh, yes, I'm demanding my 10%. I cannot come and tell you all of these secrets and not get no 10%. When you are enjoying it and you are feeling it and it's going your inside, you don't want to come and thank me. You don't want to come and thank me for everything I've been doing for you now. For the last hour and a half, you don't want to come and thank me. You don't think I deserve it? Please, if you can't do anything for me, this video, you must share it. If you don't want my trouble, please, make una share this video. Make una share this video. Una share this video, please. The only part of this thing is that redox is not yet in Africa. That's the only problem. But even that, if you start sharing these videos, if you go to Pastor Patience's page and start sharing her videos, because there's a lot of nuggets on these videos, and you share them, more people hear about redox and what we are saying and all of that, and there's more interest. You can go to the company now and say, please, Oga Redox, we need to get some to Africa. There are some people who need Bula Matali to, for Ngongo and Mama Chioma to have fun. So we need to send some over the emergency, and it will send it. So my sister, my brother, I've said enough. Me, I've been using it. I'm waiting. That day when my prince comes, hey, wahala, don't come. My prince is in trouble. Oh. He is in trouble. All those years of arrears, I have to clear all of them first. I think I'll be on leave for 2 years. I'll just be in honeymoon mode for 2 years. Because the enjoyment will be something else. My brother won't sleep at night. Your brother, he will not sleep at night. And so my brother, if you want to enjoy, this is not moving and doing shifting cultivation and going out there and cheating on your wife with other women. That's not the problem. The problem is that Ngongo know the function proper because they get the redox. What you need? Oh yes, I have to clear arrears now. I don't say that. I say arrears. It's arrears. It's been piling up there. So I need to clear them now. I have to enjoy all of those ones that I missed out on first. Then when we finish that one, then now we carry on into the future. The past, present, Present participle. Do you remember? Did you do grammar? Present participle. And past participle. We have to do all of those ones first before we come into the now. When I come back, you see my face. It will be glowing like something. I got to enjoy Amu. Ngongo has to be enjoyed. That's why it's there. The apple was made for enjoyment. Yes, you see how the pestle and the mortar, how it all, that's how it must be now. Cannot have mortar sleeping on itself, pestle lying there miserable. No. Ponani must always be nice and moist and ready for action. Bula Matali must always be akimbo, standing akimbo like this. Not this. What is that? What is this story? What is this? You must do this. You see? Powerhouse. You need redox, my brother. You need redox. Nekuna, take this redox. Just do it for, and you will see. Your wife will be thanking you. As soon as you say, Mama Chioma, oh, my husband, Oga, what do you want to chop this morning? Do you want akara and plantain? Do you want me to make fried eggs for you? Oh, my darling husband, what do you want? They'll make it for you. Now, if you don't listen to me, if you don't contact Pastor Patience at a matter of emergency and get some of this thing now and start replenishing what your body needs so that your body can function properly, high performance, and stop doing those things that you have, those seesaw things you've been doing. My brother, you'll thank me later. So if you want redox, all you need to do, all you need is redoxmiracle.team, TEAMASEA.com. That's the website. Alternatively, if you go to Facebook right now and you type Patience O.Edwards, so it's 3 separate words. Patience O.space Edwards, that's her name on Facebook, Pastor Patience. And you go there now, you see a nice cover picture and it has a phone number there. That is her number. Call that number as a matter of emergency and get this redox and thank me later. Start using this redox and thank me later, Oga. Mama, that orgasm that you have been putting off, that one that you've given up on, that you're never going to experience it, I'm telling you, by the time the redox is redoxing, and all the nerves in your punani are all responding to signals, that is when you realize that you didn't know that you had a punani inside the punani. Like, it's a whole revived, whole new package that you have. You'll be thanking me and bringing me my 10% on top of that. So my sister, please, don't waste time. Don't waste time. Don't wait till your marriage is on rocks. Then come and cry to me. Let's fix things nicely. My brother, if you are sitting there and you are thinking it's not getting there because my wife, I don't like my wife anymore. It has nothing to do with your wife. You yourself, your redox is declining. You need to get some. Make una top up and come and thank me later. I want to see the couples dancing and enjoying. I want to hear those screams from the sisters. You know, when the praise and worship has gotten into them, the way they behave. I want to see that one here on this live video. Very soon, people will start testifying. The ones who tell the truth, they will tell you that things have been knocking things. My sister, please. Redox is definitely the way to go. And the funny part about it is that it's not just going to fix what we have been laughing about for the last hour and a half. It's going to fix all the things that are inside of you that need fixing. For your body to be able to heal itself. Redox is the way to go. It treats issues from the roots, the foundations, and gives you the life that you deserve. Mama Chioma, you've been denied of this thing for so long. Papa Nkechi, you've been so frustrated about this 630 issue for a long time. You can't tell anybody. I don't need to hear it. Just contact Pastor Patience, and let her help you. Oh, even if you're under 60, it doesn't matter. When it's revived now, you see, you'll be on the road like a 30-year-old. Don't worry, it will help. And like we said before, you have to manage your expectations. We talked about that one in the very beginning of the video. If you're a 60-year-old man and you have a 55-year-old woman, she knows now. She understands. Your knocking is sufficient. But if you are 50, 55, and 60, go and take a 20-year-old woman, whose things have been knocking things from her mama in belly, you go and take trouble for your own self. Oh. Cut your coat according to your size. So me, I'm waiting for the brother. I'm waiting for him. This prince, by the time he comes, I don't chop him for my mind inside finish. So when he comes, he's in big trouble. But I'm sure that it will be somebody who can manage the load. Yeah, he can deal with all the arrears very easily and clear all of them. And deal with the past participle and the present participle and present continuous. I've forgotten that one. Present continuous. And then we'll move into the future. So my sister, my brother, you need Redox. If you need to know more about it or how to get it, redoxmiracle.teamasia.com. Redox Miracle, REDOXMIRACLE, Redox Miracle team, TEAMASEA.com. That's the website, Pastor Patience's website. You can contact her there. Please, if that's what you're wanting to do, please add your area code so she knows where you're calling from. We are not in Africa. So if you're in Nigeria, Ghana, and all of that, and she's put the website there. Thank you so much, Pastor Patience. We can't help you yet. Just share this video for us. So a lot more Africans in Africa will hear about it and we can help them. Please. And share this video. If you are here and you're not sharing this video, next week, I won't even continue. When I finish now, I'll see how many people have shared this video. There are 29 people on this live video now. If you know you haven't shared it, please go and share it. Confess your own sins and share this video. And God will bless you. But Redox is definitely the way to go. It will do amazing things. Hey, Auntie Christine, how are you? How are you doing? Happy New Year. It's been a long time. How are you? Take care of yourself and use Redox signaling molecules to fix your issues. No more 6:30. No more. Papa Chioma, Papa Nkechi, Papa Ijeoma. No more 6:30. No more wife getting mad. And Sister Chioma, you come and thank me later. Yes, I'll be waiting for you to come and thank me for everything that has happened today. Next week, Sunday, we are continuing. Next week, Sunday, we're going to the praise and worship itself. Those of you that have been chewing your wife's nipples like chewing gum, next week, I'm coming for you. Those of you that have been chewing your wife's nipples like chewing gum or kebab, you know when they put it on the stick and you're trying to pull the meat off of it. Those of you that have been doing that, next Sunday, I'm coming for you. I've already started confessing my sins for next week already, so God will have mercy on me and give me the permission to say what I have to say. Some of you can help me say sorry to God for all these things, but it has to be said now. This is kingdom business. We are saving marriages. We are helping the brothers and the sisters to fix their marriage and have everything. See, the bula was going to 6:30. I was trying to save it, but it didn't work. Anyway, a word to the wise is enough. I love you all so much. Godliness and cleanliness are the same. They need to be in one place. Those are the highlights of this video. Number 2, you need Redox to sort your body out so that you can be a fighting soldier. Yes, to be a fighting soldier, to go into this war, this battle and come out alive. Those of you, when your husband's touch, it's hurting. Oh, it's too painful. Yes, next Sunday I'm coming for all of you. But please, you need Redox. It will fix all of those things up and get you all fired up. You can sleep. You can do it all night long and still wake up and go to work because you're fully nyanyat for all of the games that are happening. Those of you who want to do mosquito style, kangaroo style, lizard style, let me see, badger style, all of those styles. Next Sunday, I'm coming for all of you. So stay tuned for next Sunday's praise and worship session. Today, we have just prepared the way. Tomorrow, next Sunday, not tomorrow, next Sunday, we are coming back for the actual praise and worship. Then the weekend after that, we'll talk about the main sermon. It will be very, very nice. Don't miss these videos. Don't miss it. And please share this one. This is part 1. God bless you all. I love you so much. Have a fantastic day. Stay handsome and beautiful. And remember, without Redox, you cannot fight this fight. Without Redox, you cannot do everything that you need to do. Papa Chioma, Mama Nkechi. Without Redox, you cannot solve your problem. So Redox is the way to do it. Contact Pastor Patience and let her save you. Let her help you now. Let her help you, okay? Show you what to do. So that I can do poulet roti. You see the chicken when it's lying on its back and the legs are wide open. You can do that. Proper for Papa Chioma. God bless you. I love you. Let me go and confess my sins. Yeah, I need to do penance. Bye-bye.